Entirely predictable from President Erdogan. We've known what his position on the Kurds in Syria has been for a very long time. He's made absolutely no secret of it. But the key thing here is he thought in mid-December he'd got a deal from President Trump. When President Trump said he was pulling US troops out of northern Syria as soon as possible, and many people interpreted that as being by mid-January. President Erdogan was delighted, and this of course followed on a phone conversation between the two men in mid-December, in which it appeared that Erdogan had persuaded Donald Trump that it was in the interest of the United States to do just that, and that Turkey could pick up the pieces. Turkey would continue the fight against the Islamic State organization, that it had its own comprehensive strategy, which would be in the interests of the United States as well. Well, of course, an awful lot has changed since then. There's been uproar in the United States and among the United States European allies about that call from Donald Trump on the withdrawal. And suddenly we see this, and it looks to President Erdogan as if he's being stabbed in the back at the last minute. Hence the anger that you saw when he addressed the Turkish Parliament earlier this Tuesday. And on the very same day that he published an opinion piece in the New York Times praising Donald Trump for making the right decision.
So how much has the US policy shifted then?
Well, it really, well, first of all, nothing is very clear in US policy at the moment. Donald Trump may say one thing one day and something completely different the next, which appears to be the case at the moment. Donald Trump himself is saying that nothing has changed at all. But that, in a sense, one could perhaps argue that that's the case, because quite often he phrases things in a sufficiently vague way as to allow him to reinterpret things later on. That may be what he's trying to get away with this time. But there's no doubt, I think, in most people's minds that this is a significant change, and the reason for it is absolutely clear. As I was saying earlier on, the political establishment, the security establishment in the United States is vehemently against Donald Trump's call to pull out US troops from Syria as soon as possible. They say the fight against the Islamic State organization is far from one. And the United States allies, including, it has to be said, Israel, are very much against it as well. And it's interesting that John Bolton should make that statement about slowing the withdrawal down from Israel, where he'd been having talks with the Israeli leadership. They are very concerned that by pulling US troops out of Syria at this time, the United States will be playing into the hands, in particular, of Iran.
All right, thank you very much indeed for your analysis, Rob.